Want help to grow your business? Download BRiN, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit BRiN.ai or search the App Store today.
Welcome back to That Social Media Show. I am your host, Heather Porter. Are you guys ready? Because in this episode, we are going to be talking all about automation, how to automate your social media. Before we get started, of course, we have two quick things. Number one, we get practical in here. So I like for you guys to whip out your computer, your smartphones, any of the devices that you use to use social media and follow along. And number two, of course, this is the social media show, That Social Media Show. So we have a hashtag That Social Media Show. And I love to have conversations with you guys online. So please take your pick of your social platform and come on over and join the conversation. Let us know if you have questions or comments, or even if you have some amazing results you want to share with our incredible community. So what are we going to cover? We're going to cover what are social media automation and management tools. And of course, we're going to dive into those tools. So tool number one, how to set up and use Buffer. Tool number two, how to set up and use Hootsuite. Number three, how to set up and use Edgar. Have you guys met Edgar yet? Ha ha ha. Pros and cons of the different tools. That will make sense in a second. That's their little tagline. A live example of how to edit the order of your posts fast. And finally, how to give your team access to these tools to run them for you. Because after all, you are in business, and as a savvy business owner, you want to outsource whenever you can, so you can grow that business of yours. All right, you guys, so let's get started. We're going to stick into what are social media automation and management tools. Now, you have your social accounts. So you have your Facebook account, your Instagram, Pinterest, perhaps your YouTube, your LinkedIn. We have loads of different accounts that we would use in our business. And if you've been following this show for any length of time, you already know exactly the social media platforms that you should be hanging out on in your business. Now, here's the thing. There is a lot of things that you need to do and a lot of moving parts to stay on top of the platforms that you're choosing to use in your business. Not only do you have to create amazing content, but you have to remember to promote your own blog posts and the own happenings in your business, whether you're running an event or a webinar, if you have a special or a discount coming up. You have all that stuff going on in your head. Then you also have to think about the fact that you don't want to neglect a social media account, because that can also just be as bad as, not having an account, and perhaps even worse if you go for, say, a month and there's no activity on your Facebook page, for example. So all these things, right? How possibly can a business owner today stay on top of these things? Automation tools. Now, I just need to share one thing about automation tools. Now, automation is amazing and should be used in your business. However, it will never replace real-time engagement. So when people are asking you questions online, you need to be fully aware of that, and you want to jump in and have conversations with them. Automation tools help you to pipe out really amazing content, to stay on top of your marketing initiatives and your goals, and be promoting what you need to in your business on autopilot. It helps you to get more engagement, and the engagement part should definitely be done by a human being. So we're going to walk through three quite popular automation tools that are on the market, and I'm actually going to show you inside of each of these platforms. The first one that we're going to cover is one of the most easiest tools for most of us to get started on, and you can get a free account, and it's Buffer. So I'm going to talk you through how to use and set up Buffer. And yes, you are correct, you guys. We are going to go into the computer so I can actually share my screen with you. So let's head on over here. Now, Buffer is where you go and set up an account, so buffer.com. And I have to be really honest with you guys. I don't use Buffer. I know about Buffer, and I randomly might push the Buffer button, which just means to automate something I see online to make sure it goes out on my social media accounts. But I actually don't use it that much. I use two other tools, which I'm going to obviously share with you next. But I would be doing you a disservice if I don't go through all the main tools and allow you to make up your own mind. So we are here in my Buffer account. all these have what's called a dashboard. So essentially what happens is you hook up your social media accounts into your automation tool. For the free level buffer, you can really only hook up your Twitter and your Facebook, and then you have to pay to start to hook up more, such as Pinterest and LinkedIn and Instagram and some of the other accounts. But you can get a couple in there for free. And what you're looking at here is basically on the left-hand side, you see my accounts. And at the top, you see the, the action menu, so to speak. So you can create content, you can look at analytics, you can schedule stuff or set your schedule for your different posts, and then you have your overall settings as well. So basically what happens in here is your content is showing you your queue. So these are all your automated posts that you've set up in advance. It's just showing you in a list. Contributions that you've added to RSS feeds. If I click into any of these, by the way, it's going to ask me to upgrade. So you can very basically do scheduled posts, but you can't hook in RSS feeds and allow your team to have logins unless you pay money to this app. So what happens here is that you can actually use outside feeds, like you might be able to hook in your own blog feed or a Pocket feed or something else that you're using online to collate and curate information. You can actually pull it straight into here. Over here on analytics, that's where you can actually see which of your posts are working. This is why I like these tools, by the way, because they give you great analytics. They use these little measurable or trackable mini URLs, bit.lys, owlys, jumply or something, whatever it's called. But they have all these different types of mini URLs. And what that means is that when you are sharing a URL, the platform shrinks down that URL into something tiny. And then it does analytics on it. So you can actually see in here, your popular, your least popular, your most popular, and you can actually basically reshuffle, reuse what people like. You have your schedule. This is cool. This is actually why I do like Buffer. You can basically set up the times that you want your post to go out. So you could use a tool like Facebook Insights or Twitter Analytics, and you can actually go in and find out when is the most popular time and day for your market, for your fans, your followers to engage with your content. Those tools will tell you. Then you head back in here and you know that, say, for example, on your Monday and your Tuesday and your Wednesday on Facebook, 3 p.m. is absolutely optimal. And maybe again at 7 p.m., just for example. So you can actually go in here and then you create on Monday, I want to post at 3 and I want to post on 7. Same with Tuesday, Wednesday, etc. So what happens when you're putting a library together in Buffer, it'll automatically use this schedule and then put those posts out for you in the exact optimal time. There's also another little cool tool in here that they have called Optimal Timing tool, and that will actually read what the market's doing and automatically jump in when your market's getting active and put stuff out. So again, with all these platforms, you basically have a My Account area where you can do upgrades, your billings and things like that. And you also have your Settings tab, which is where you get the system to work better for you. So you can add team members, like you can see here on your screen. And then you can set up your link shortening, like we talked about earlier with the bit.lys as well. And of course, you can upgrade to awesome, as they say. One other thing, with all these platforms, you also can add what's called an extension to your browser. I love Chrome because I found that Chrome, obviously, well, it's owned by Google, so it's fast, but it's very easy to add these little extensions at the top. I know Firefox can do this as well. But you have buttons that show up on the top here. And what that means is when you're surfing around the net, you could just click on your little buffer button, and then it'll have a little pop-up, and it allows you to easily share from any website. Or even if you're on Facebook or social media, you can buffer somebody else's post, and it will put it back in here in your queue for your content. So that's an overview of Buffer. Again, I admitted earlier that I don't use this tool, but I think you can get an idea here if this is something that you would be interested in. The next one that I want to talk to you guys about is tool number 2, and that is how to set up and use Hootsuite. Now, I do use Hootsuite, and I actually have a paid account with Hootsuite because that's how I can get my team members to use the platform. But I can also do some other fancy things as well that I want to share with you. So what we'll do is we'll get into the Hootsuite together, and I'll kind of walk you around on what that looks like. Now, I'm on my Hootsuite dashboard. And similarly to the other one, you have sort of a menu down the left-hand side, and then you have other menus here at the top. It does look quite a bit different, because what it's doing is it's showing feeds. It's showing my different social accounts and what's happening in them. and I can customize and set this up. So let's walk through this really quickly together. So what we're looking at here is at this top, you can see Business Hostess, which is my crazy Twitter handle. My Facebook, I have another Twitter for my business account. So I've basically hooked up my different social accounts, and then I can click through these tabs and see what's going on. So if I want to go into, say, we'll do, I think I'm hooked.
To continue enjoying this presentation, download BRiN, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit BRiN.ai or search the App Store today.